Coffee Talk, and as Mo just mentioned, and I think all of us have been talking about it this morning, this awful plane crash.
Yeah.
And it's tragedies like this where I think a lot of us yearn for more connection. Of course, that can be a phone call to a loved one, maybe a longer conversation with a coworker, or a visit with a neighbor. But according to multiple reports we've shared over the years right here on Great Day, a lot of Americans just don't know their neighbors. And some research really suggests that needs to change for our overall health. A study just out of Rutgers found that people who do know their neighbors have such a stronger sense of community, a wider support network. They say they feel more secure. They're able to get help in a pinch. You know, I need that cup of sugar.
Yep.
And they honestly learn more. So if you find yourself out and about today, maybe tomorrow since it is raining today, or this weekend when you're saying temperatures are in the 60s, Yahoo suggests just introduce yourself. We get it, we're all busy. But take your time with the conversation. Also offer help to your neighbor, maybe by bringing in their trash cans, getting their mail, or offering to get their mail, I guess, if they do go out of town.
Yeah,
Don't just go get their mail. I'll take guess. Ooh, the latest issue of St. Louis Magazine.
Well, but you know, we're laughing about it, but we've shared our entry codes with a handful of our neighbors, and they've shared theirs. We have had situations where, like when Katie's kid was home from college, parked that car in their driveway during the snow so that the plows could make it through.
That's great.
I forgot my phone when I went to Florida a few years ago, and I had my neighbor go in, find my phone, and FedEx it to me overnight. I had it within 12 hours.
Yep.
I mean, and not just because of that, but it does make, it makes life, it just completes your, you're living in this home, you're surrounded by other people, they're going through what they're going through, you're going what you're going through. You should be sharing that, you know, and sharing the load a little bit and helping them. And every time somebody goes on vacation, we're taking their trash cans in, they're taking ours, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Community.
Exactly.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah, that's the way people used to be. And I'll say one thing real quick, and we've talked about this before, and I think this is symptomatic of the fact that so few people stay in the same home for extended periods of time now. I think that, you know, the general thing is like 6 to 8 years. You're moving out and going to another town or another home or whatever. It's not like the old
You used
days.
to be in a neighborhood for 40 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You knew everyone.
Right.
All right. I'm bored. You got to put that duh on the end of it. No. I hear my kids say that phrase pretty often. Yeah, who are we kidding? It's Kendall.
Right.
I've even found myself bored before, but now we're learning that there are some benefits to boredom. However, before you can actually take advantage of it, you have to let yourself be bored. Allow yourself, give grace to yourself to be bored. A lot of us struggle with that because when we're bored, we pick up the phones, we do a lot of swiping, and that's a waste of time. We know that, right? Then we're stressed out because all of a sudden we don't have time to do the things that we should have been doing when we were doom scrolling. Now, according to experts at Yahoo Life, instead, we should be bored. Get off the apps, let our brains rest, because that's when you finally feel like you have life under control.
So I talked to a lot of educators about this idea that kids are no longer bored, that we have them so overscheduled in everything, and they also are introduced to technology a lot earlier. So when they don't have anything to do, they don't know how to be bored. They don't have imaginations like we probably did when we were growing up. And that's something that I really worry about for my kiddos. I'm sure your youngest, you worry about that too.
Dr. Tim Jordan, behavioral pediatrician, has talked about this exact topic on this show multiple times. And I think it was him that once said, don't be your kid's cruise director. Like, don't do that, because then they're gonna become reliant on that. And to your point, you've gotta let their brains determine what to do with that free time and how to take advantage of that. What they would say as bored, right? Yeah.
Whoa.
Just getting